faster response times, and more communication throughout the claims process. Those were the two most suggested responses coming from customers when I did a customer service survey with an organization in a financial services sector, being insurance, as it relates to the claims experience. Now, as we know, when it comes to claims, that is on the tail end of a process with a customer, and that is where the customer is going to be making a lot of judgments as it relates to what that experience is, because now they're going to be measuring how well the organization is committing to what they initially promised. In this example, I'm going to show you how HubSpot, using HubSpot in your claims process, can actually help you or help your organization communicate better and update the customer as to where things are in the claims process. Check it out. So one of the first things to remember is that HubSpot is customizable, and the cool thing is HubSpot is customizable towards your organization. So the first thing I'd actually say, without actually going into it, is that even though you may not have a claims process that's built in HubSpot by default, organizations can create something called a custom object within their organization and build out the respective properties to match that, so that now their process falls into place. Outside of that, the customers or organizations can just use the service tickets option in HubSpot and start managing their claims processes from there. Now, with doing that, you'll notice that I have something here set up that's called an insurance claims process. And in this example, remember, the goal of this example is to show you how insurance companies can maintain their communication with their organization and streamline their processes just to let customers know what's happening with that claim. Right? So the first thing first that they would need to do is map out their insurance claims process within HubSpot. Now that is done on the back end, right? And which I wouldn't go into right now. But what you're looking at here is an example as to what that insurance claims process is. So we have from the new claim being received, from the documents being verified, investigations would have started and completed. The claim has been either approved or denied. It's been fully settled from there, right? Now, what happens now when your claims begin coming in? Now, at this stage, what we need to start paying attention to is the communication. So when the claims are coming in, how can we now create such a seamless process between internal staff, which is our claims process personnel, our administrators, our adjusters and investigations team, and how is that communication going to translate between them and our customer? So within HubSpot, you get the ability of setting up something called workflows. So once you understand what your claims process is, and you're pretty accurate with the fact that, okay, when something happens here, then something else is supposed to happen there, you can now build workflows that now help automate certain areas of your claims process. I'm going to give you a short peek as to what that looks like on the back end. So as I indicated to you all just now, that here, this is your claims process, and all these little boxes that you see are little bits of instructions or actions that's going to happen based upon specific triggers. And the main trigger is really going to be moving a claim from one stage to the next, right? So we have different workflows that's going to happen at different stages of the process. And now let's take a look at what happens there, right? So a claim comes in. So we're looking at this first claim, which is an accident that would have taken place on a Nissan Tiida. The claim, the first thing that's going to happen is that the new claim is actually going to be received by from the team from the customer. What happens here is that claim would now need to be acknowledged from the organization to let the customer know, okay, we have actually received your claim. The next stage would just really be a matter of just dragging this claim from one stage to the next to now say documents are now actually being verified, right? And with the documents being verified, some communication is actually going to happen there now, because look, the workflow is now active because there's some activity in the workflow, and which again would mean that the customer would now be notified. Now remember, there are two different types of notifications, internal and external actions that can actually happen. Now what does that look like? So let's take a look at the first one. So a customer submits a ticket, whether they walk in, they use the online portal, they call in via phone or send an email, etc. The first communication that the customer is going to get is something that says, hi there, your request has been received and is being reviewed by our support team. We will get back to you as soon as we can, right? and you have specific bits of information about the details. Now, if you notice here, I have the request details, which is the customer's name, email, the date that it was actually submitted, etc., etc. All right, and you can even go as far as doing a description. Now, when it was moved, when the ticket was actually moved to the documents being verified, the communication here now is a little bit different, and the communication says, "Dear valued customer, your documents for accident X, right, was received on this date." And is currently being reviewed. Our claims officer is Lyndon Braffett and can be contacted at this. Should you have any challenges, please feel free to contact us. So again, you are updating the customer to let them know what's happening at this stage of the claim and who is handling the claim, who is the claims officer that they need to speak with. What happens now if it is that we were to move this particular claim further down? Let's say the claim is actually approved. How is the communications process going to be happening there, right? Because of course the claim has been approved. It's actually, the investigations have actually started. So let's say, for instance, you're in the investigation stage. I didn't go into that stage, but there's a workflow in that stage as well. Then from there, the investigators or the adjusters have said, okay, everything looks good. We can now move this off to payment because the customer is whatever, right? And then of course you settle the claim overall, all the way down to say that this claim has officially been settled. What does that communication look like? Well, the communication will then say something like this. So you have something that now says, vehicle claim update, investigations have started, and the communication to the customer will be, this is to advise that we have started an investigation into this claim and will be in touch with you soon. Please feel free to reach out to us. So guys, I just want to stick up in here. Understand that no email is being manually sent out from a staff member to a customer. This communication, updating the customer as to what's happening with the claim, is being done automatically because it's pre-built into the process. Let's continue. All right. And of course, now what happens now if it is that the claim has actually been approved? Now let's look at what this is. This is now saying, and this is an update on the claim again. So dear valued customer, right? This is to advise that claim with this particular number has been approved. We will be processing your claim for payment within 10 to 15 days. One of our finance support representatives will reach out to you via phone, etc., etc., and you can say whatever it is that you want to say from there. And that there, folks, is how you use technology to help you offer a better experience. Remember that you still have to keep in mind what the customer experience is going to be, what your communication strategy and structure is going to be like, because again, the technology is going to just automate certain things. But we have to make sure that we are using the tools to help us offer a better experience. And that is my example as to how insurance organizations could offer a better experience by using HubSpot in their claims process.